It was still dark just before dawn on June 25 when Sicily got a wake-up call it'll never forget. Mount Etna, that old, fiery beast of a volcano, came alive with a roar that felt like the earth itself was shouting. I can only imagine the chills it sent down the spines of early hikers out there, their boots crunching on the trails, suddenly stopped dead in their tracks as the sky lit up with ash and smoke. This wasn't just any eruption, it was Etna, one of the world's most active volcanoes, reminding everyone who's boss. The ground started grumbling low and deep, like a warning from the gut of the planet, shaking awake the little villages tucked around the mountain's base. Then came the fireworks, massive explosions from the southeastern crater, spitting out fountains of lava that painted the sky in wild streaks of red, orange, and a heavy, brooding gray. Down in Catania and the nearby towns, folks stepped out onto their balconies or crowded the streets, staring up in a mix of wonder and worry as the tremors rattled their windows and the sharp, sulfurous smell hit their noses. You could feel the weight of it all, like the air itself was holding its breath. By the time the sun peeked over the horizon, Etna was in full swing, and let me tell you, it was something else. Lava shot up so high it seemed to scrape the clouds, and a thick, dark plume of ash climbed over 6 kilometers into the sky, blotting out the light like a storm rolling in. Up near the summit, the ground was cracking, hissing, practically screaming as scalding gases forced their way out. Then, out of nowhere, a pyroclastic flow, this terrifying rush of super hot ash and gas, came barreling down the northern slope, tearing toward the Valle de Leon, a deep, scarred basin that's seen this kind of chaos for centuries. Thank God no villages were in its way, but the sight of it was enough to make your heart race. People nearby, some just watching from a distance, were quickly moved to safety, their faces pale with that mix of fear and awe you only get when nature shows its teeth. Tourists who'd come to hike or snap photos were hustled out fast, a few of them later telling stories of how they'd felt the ground shake under them the night before, heard those eerie, far-off booms that hinted something big was coming. I've seen some of the videos online, and they're chillin'. People scrambling as the world turned to a gray haze in seconds, swallowed by a blizzard of ash. But the Sicilians? They're a different breed. They've lived with Etna's moods their whole lives, and you can see it in their eyes. A kind of quiet strength, like they know this mountain better than anyone. They didn't panic, even as rescue teams, who'd been on high alert after days of weird seismic signals, kept everyone away from the summit. That move probably saved lives. Still, the ash was everywhere, settling like a grim snow over towns, the Ionian coast, people's cars, their gardens, even their laundry left out to dry. The wind carried it farther, turning the sky hazy and making it hard to see much of anything. Schools shut down, festivals got canceled, and folks were told to slap on masks or stay inside because that fine ash isn't just annoying, it can mess with your lungs. Even the airports, still running, had to juggle flight paths to dodge that massive ash cloud hanging over the island like a bad omen. This whole thing came after a quieter spell in May, which makes it feel like Etna was just catching its breath before letting loose. This volcano's been at it for centuries, always shifting, always unpredictable. Deep down, its magma chambers are like a restless heart, pumping molten rock up when you least expect it. The scientists who keep an eye on Etna had been nervous for days, picking up on more tremors, more gas puffing out. Sure signs something was brewing. Right now, the eruption's in this weird stop-and-go phase with bursts of action, followed by these creepy, quiet moments that keep everyone on edge. The experts say it could go either way, fizzle out in a day or drag on for weeks, like Etna's done before. It's like the mountain's playing by its own rules, and we're all just along for the ride. So far, no one's been hurt and nothing's been wrecked, which feels like a small miracle. The local authorities and civil protection crews are on top of things, moving fast to keep people safe, but you can sense the mood in Sicily. It's awe. Yeah, but also this deep respect, maybe even a little fear. Living next to Etna is like sharing your home with a giant that never really sleeps. It's part of who they are, part of the stories they tell, the way they see the world. The volcano's not just a pile of rock, it's alive and it shapes everything around it, from the land to the people who've called it home forever. This eruption, though, it's more than a wild show. It's a wake-up call, a chance to think about what it means to live on a planet that's always moving, always changing. We need to pour more into understanding volcanoes like Etna, into building better warning systems, into making sure communities are ready for whatever comes next. And it's not just for the experts. Every one of us can do something, whether it's pushing for greener policies, supporting disaster prep programs, or just learning more about the risks where we live. Sicily's standing strong, but the rest of us can't just watch from the sidelines. Let's step up, get involved, and make sure we're ready for the Earth's next big moment, because it's coming, whether we're ready or not.